Alright, a 1998 Toyota Corolla VE. Rear trunk, rear bumper, aerosol Rotacam paint job. So I've done quite a bit of work off camera. And here I am to date. So, and also I'd just like to introduce, I got a special guest here today. Say hello, ducky. Yep. It's like my patrol duck. Hopefully it's not like a psycho duck or a psycho chicken. And so if I don't come back for another videos, you know, it might have got me. But anyway, on back to the painting. So here we go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of walk you through a little bit what I've done, so to speak. Okay. Let's see here. Get this thing unlocked. So I've taken 180 grit. 180 grit sandpaper, and I sanded down the trunk, got out all the scratches that were on there, sanded down the spoiler with 180 grit. I'm not even gonna go to primer. I'm just gonna go straight to paint eventually on this one. Touched up this rear quarter area a little bit. And then along with the trunk proper, the back area, I did go down to 180 grit like I had mentioned. 180 grit guy made it a lot quicker. 180 grit with a sanding sponge and a rubber sanding block. So there we go there. And then with the bumper, I sanded down with 180 grit as well, keeping it light. You had to keep it light because you don't want to. I didn't want to burn through all the way to the primer. I just wanted to really scuff it up really well and make it flat. I don't intend to put any filler in there due to the fact it is flat, and I don't see that necessary at this point. And then I hit up a couple of spots there, especially right there. I don't know if you could see that. It was like a key mark eons ago. And so on our way down to there as well, using 180 grit. And then I went over and hit it up with 500 grit to for transition. You can call that feather edging, and that's what I believe they call it. So I did some feather edging with the 500. So I feel pretty good with the bumper. And I will putting primer on those areas that is just straight plastic black, as you can see. White primer, and there will be white primer as well. Not gray primer, but white. It did see that too. It did use like a gray primer underneath, but I'm just going to go ahead with, since I have white primer, I'm going to use that. Alrighty. So on to some feather edging. Get the camera set up. I got my beautiful lakefront view. No, it's a retention pond. But there is, I got quite a few wildlife in there. Alright, let's stay focused. Let's get locked in. Lock this in here. Alright. Alright, and dial me up close. Alright, see if I can. Come on, cameraman. Do your job. Alright, the cameraman. I think the cameraman's got it now. So we're gonna feather edge. I'm gonna start dry. And I'm gonna start with a 180 grit again. Then I might bounce right up to 220 or 320, depending on how it goes. Let me get my advertisement going here. This is my advertisement. Naval Craft right here, right? Gotta advertise. promote myself, right? Anyway. Alright. So where are we at? So, using this sponge here. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get to it. Enough talking. I'll probably end up. Usually I strip whole panels. I didn't see the need to necessarily strip this panel, but the way this is flaking off, it might end up being a strip panel after all. But my whole thing is sort of like when my train of thought is on this. Just like when I do welding work, I cut out all the rust. I just cut, because rust has a habit of creeping back. Well, I've come to see with this painting here, if I don't get out all the flakes, right? Not snowflakes, but the flakes here, then then it's just gonna eventually show up again later on, and the paint is not gonna adhere. The paint that I spray on is not going to adhere to the bare metal, and it will show up later, and well, a lot of work will be wasted. So a lot of lessons learned there. Just keep sanding, and then you can feather edge. I was thinking I was close to this feather edging, but I might not. We'll see. We will see. So I'm just going over the edges, literally. And I believe it's doing what it's supposed to do. Alright, well, let me switch up. I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive. I'm going to drop down to 120. 120. Give me a second here. Let me grab some of that. Where is that? 320. There we go. And since I'm going to 120, guess what? I'm going to actually break out the old what do you call it? Orbital sander. So I'll be right on back. Right on back. So that was a quick, short video. Yeah, I was doing some feather edging, but I see where it was flaking off, so I don't want to take any chances. So I'll be on back. Well, that was a quick part 3. Quick demonstration. I'll come back with part 4 shortly.